Investigations by the Informer Media Group have established that a vicious battle between rival corruption axes has held the Nairobi County government hostage, with each group fighting for the control of public coffers, particularly in awarding of contracts and processing of payments. On one hand is a team of youthful but reclusive entrepreneurs enjoying unholy union, with City Hall officials now fighting to exit the influence of shadowy group of well-oiled businessmen and their co-conspirators serving in both the executive and Nairobi County Assembly, who enjoyed control in the previous administrations. The ongoing bare-knuckle fight hit the climax a fortnight ago, August 7th, 2023, with the sacking of the embattled former Nairobi County Attorney Lydia Kwamboka by Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja through Acting County Secretary Patrick Analo. According to insiders, Kwamboka's dismissal 3 years before expiry of a renewed term arose from disagreements over 1.4 billion shilling legal fees payments flagged by the Office of the Control of Budget COB Margaret Nyakango. Kwamboka was sacked under unclear circumstances after authorizing 1.4 billion shilling controversial payments to a select few law firms. Kwamboka has since been grilled by detectives at the Directorate of Criminal Investigations DCI headquarters in connection to the alleged fraudulent legal fees processing. The termination letter signed by Analo reads in part, "We are grateful for the service rendered to the county during the transitional period following the lapse of our employment contract dated October 1st, 2019. On December 31st, 2022, the Office of the County Attorney and Legal Sector has grown and continues to be a critical arm of the county executive." Analo indicated that Kwamboka's contract expired in December 2022 and that she had been assisting in the transitional period. Analo added, "Following the appointment of an acting county attorney, you are now requested to officially hand over." Analo further told Kwamboka that her terminal dues will be computed as provided in her employment contract. However, controversy on Kwamboka's contract and when it was supposed to expire has since deepened after it emerged that former Governor Anne Kananu had extended it for another 6 years effective July 13th, 2020. This means that her contract was to expire in July 2026. A letter by Kananu dated July 20th, 2022, addressed to Kwamboka says, "Your term of service has been extended accordingly to 6 years, with effect from the commencement of the Office of the County Attorney Act 2020, that is July 13th, 2020. Kananu cited the Office of the County Attorney Act 2020 when extending Kwamboka's contract. According to the Act, a county attorney is supposed to serve for 6 years. Section 4 of the Office of the County Attorneys Act 2020 provides for the Office of the County Attorney and requires that the office holder be appointed by the governor with the approval of the county assembly. Kwamboka is not new to controversy. During her tenure at City Hall, Kwamboka allegedly enlisted the services of a law firm linked to her, Maina Njenga and Kwamboka Advocates, that received over 300 million shillings in legal fees, thus exposing her to possible conflict of interest. Kwamboka was vetted and her name was approved by the Assembly in April 2018. 5 months later, on September 19th, 2018, Kwamboka, alongside 3 county officials, was suspended by former Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko. Barely a year after suspension, she later made a comeback at City Hall, with Kananu extending her contract to run until 2026. Payment of legal fees in Nairobi has been the center of controversy, with an amount currently standing close to 21 billion shillings. In July 2021, Kwamboka was impeached for practicing without a valid license and abuse of office. A week before her termination, Kwamboka appeared before the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, where she accused the Finance Department of assuming her roles. Kwamboka told the MCAs that they go through the legal files as the legal department, and once they are satisfied, they forward the file to the finance for payment. The legal department has the mandate to decide which companies are to be paid, not finance. It is then that the governor cautioned a series of payments to legal firms, including a 250 million shilling payment to Kuza Farms and Allied Limited for a 2.5-acre piece of land belonging to AEF Ruben Primary School. The aforementioned farm is associated with politician Cyrus Jirongo. The payment was made in 2019. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission (EACC) has since received a petition from one Brian Yongo urging it to look into the payment that was made even after the firm declined to hand over the title deed in exchange for the money. Court documents show that Jirongo used the title deed to obtain a 20 billion shilling loan. She received her sacking letter barely a week after she appeared before the County Assembly Justice and Legal Committee, where she expressed her frustrations by some officials from the Finance Department. She told the committee that she had written an advisory to the Finance Department that they should focus on paying law firms that are owed a small amount of money amounting to 60 million shillings. The Legal Department, headed by the sacked county attorney, had prepared a list of firms owed small amounts. Kwamboka told the MCAs that they go through the legal files as the legal department, and once they are satisfied, they forward the file to the finance for payment. It is the legal department that has the mandate to decide which companies are to be paid, and not finance. Further, she told the committee that instead, firms that are owed huge amounts were prioritized, with the county paying a total of 1.4 billion shillings. She also told the committee that a number of legal files had disappeared from the legal department's civil registry. She said some of the vanished files ended up at the finance department, and payment was effected without approval of the legal department. In June this year, Controller of Budget COB Margaret Nyakango declined to approve 1.5 billion shilling expenditure requisitions they made to pay legal fees and development expenditure made without providing proper supportive documents. Further, City Hall honchos made an additional clearance request of 379 million shillings categorized as development expenditure of building and construction supplies claimed to be air supply. A correspondence by the COB addressed to Sakaja through the Finance and Economic Planning County Executive Committee member Charles Kerrich reads in part, "The schedule of 19 firms to be paid does not include the invoices' dates. Therefore, it is difficult to ascertain whether they are pending bills or related to works done and invoiced in the current financial year. Please, therefore, revise the schedule to include the date of the invoices and attach copies of the payment vouchers for the 19 firms." Through a letter dated June 27, 2023, reference COB/NBI/001/171 number 11, Nyakango notes that the Nairobi County Government did not provide the pending bills payment plan that would enable the matching of individual payees to the requisitions. The COB adds in part, "Further, it is difficult to match the proposed payments with the pending bills report earlier presented to this office." Sakaja's administration made the twin requisitions via letters referenced as reference NRB/FIN/1/2824/2023 dated June 19, 2023, amounting to 562,124,660 shillings, and reference NRB/FIN/1/2825/2023 dated June 19, 2023, amounting to 509,152,645 shillings. Nyakango instructed County Treasury to provide the basis for the legal fees, status of each court case, including copies of judgment where applicable. Also, the COB's office demanded a clear breakdown detailing the criteria used in the selection of the said payments, the recommended first-in, first-out method used in identifying the bills, and information on whether the proposed payment is a partial payment or a final payment to the legal firms. She said she wrote a memo dated August 2, 2023 to the Chief Officer of the Finance Department asking for clarification on payment criteria. A letter Kwamboka tabled before the committee reads in part, "We would like to understand the criteria used by your office in determining matters to be paid despite the sector having a budget to settle the small matters, and what happened to the allocated budget." Last year, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission asked the Nairobi County Secretary to supply it with the case files handled by 26 law firms. The Anti-Corruption Agency requested files between 2013 and 2020, including details of the cases, letters of instruction, and contract agreements.